MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else.
When we have plenty of talented people
no,
here.
You don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
MAGA lost their shit. I thought that the implosion started with the Laura Ingraham interview. Now, Laura Ingraham is a bit of a tough customer. I get it. She's a tough interviewer. She's kind of got that, she's a bit intimidating. She's a kind of a no-nonsense lady. I don't like her views, but I like Laura Ingraham. I think she's funny. I think she's a good interviewer. Well, she was sticking to her style in this interview, but I think she was trying to lead Trump down the easy road. But let's take a look. This is when it really starts to tank.
A lot of MAGA folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans,
you would have the
fans of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically, black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. The students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive. But at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. People are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose anything.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else.
There's so much to unpack here.
A lot.
So much. So starting with the fact that he wants to keep the colleges in business. I thought MAGA hated colleges and thought they should be out of business.
Or that they should just be focused on the private and not necessarily like government. It felt a little bit of government intervention-y, didn't it? Or like kind of government involvement.
Right.
Which is what they hate.
Exactly. Then he mentions the historically black colleges and universities, which is insane. Are the Chinese students going to the HBCUs? And since when does Trump care about the HBCUs?
I mean, I think that there are Chinese students there, but it's a minority, and it is nowhere near the numbers of other big major state and private universities. I can't imagine. I don't know. Is he trying to, okay, I got to put the hood on. Is he trying to instigate tension? Because you know how the Chinese community, how the Asians are seen as like the model minority, and then to send them to HBCUs and to see what happens. I mean, who knows who this is? I would not put it past the Trump administration to be experimenting strategies of tension. Really? No, I'm serious.
Well, true. And also recall, I don't remember if it was Sunday or last Wednesday, we covered when he was bragging. It was Sunday. He was bragging to the Republican Jewish Coalition of all the money he sued or gotten out of these universities to give to Jews for hurting their feelings.
My administration has filed historic civil rights lawsuits and cut off funding to colleges and universities that refuse to defend their Jewish students from vile acts of anti-Semitism. And we have secured some of the largest discrimination settlements in modern times. There's been nothing like it.
Why are
Exactly.
you suing them if we need Chinese students to keep them afloat?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think there's something more to this. I don't know what the end game is, but clearly something's brewing behind the scenes.
What do you make of the comment with the French and the Chinese? I understand Trump doesn't like France, but historically they're obviously more of an ally to us than the Chinese. And Laura's sort of pushback. I felt like she was trying to get him to be like, "Come on, like I'm giving it to you on a silver platter, and you're still not eating it."
No, listen, Trump. I think Trump wants to be a strongman, and he doesn't necessarily believe in the traditional allies like France and UK. Okay, a little bit because he has businesses there. But I think that he's willing to sell anybody out, even America's old friends and allies, for nothing. And he's willing to equate the two, or to outright say like, "Well, we don't even need them." He did say he wanted to do Bastille. Like, he loves that.
Yeah.
So he loves some aspects of the French, but I don't think he likes all of them. I think he was a Freedom Prize guy, if I remember correctly. So
It gets worse.
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we
a
have
country
plenty of talented people
no,
here.
you don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, "I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles," or "I'm going to put."
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
MAGA lost their shit. They lost their minds, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Guys, don't forget that back in December, it was over Christmas, the H-1B fiasco that nearly destroyed Vivek's career, when he said, you know, basically, I can't quote him, but it was basically how people took it was that he was calling Americans lazy and stupid. And, but I did a little bit more research. And just so you guys know, only 23% of American-born STEM graduates are working in STEM. Look at the chart. They're not even working in their field. They're saying they can't get the jobs. Why? Because they're labeled for H-1Bs. Why? Because the companies get tax breaks and they can pay them much less for the same job. This isn't like science rockets. This isn't like difficult to kind of detangle.